Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a great new year. This week I'm looking at a documentary about discrimination in the medical industry. Is it worth watching? Find out when I look at Labeled on this week's Indy Christian Review. This episode is sponsored by More Than One Lesson, a podcast that presents both analytical and entertaining reviews of film and culture from a Christian perspective. Check it out at morethanonelesson.com. We live in a fallen world, and unfortunately that means that not everyone is born healthy. But thankfully we have a medical industry that's there to make sure that everyone has a fair shot at life, and that children born with health disorders or genetic defects can have a fair chance, and that their families can have peace of mind that everything possible is being done to help.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, unfortunately that's not always the case. Labeled was made by the Allison family after their daughter Abigail was born with Wolff-Hirschhorn syndrome. Once they received the diagnosis, the quality of care they received decreased dramatically, with one doctor even telling them,
"No, I want to make this perfectly clear. I will never spend a healthcare dollar on your daughter."
Well, this sent the Allisons on a journey to see if other families with quote-unquote labeled children received similar prejudice. As they met with families across the country, they discovered that this was far more common in the medical industry than they had ever realized. I love starting off the year with a movie that gets you all riled up, don't you? Now, I know people can get very defensive whenever the medical industry is criticized, and the movie does show that not every hospital is going to discriminate against your child if they have a genetic defect. But it does show that there is an attitude held towards disabled children by a lot of doctors that can only be described as discrimination. Something I really appreciate about Labeled is that it does more than just expose the problem, it digs into the why. It tries to figure out what kind of worldview leads people to want to discard disabled people. Here's a hint, Hitler and Charles Darwin held the same worldview. Now, as a father myself, hearing these stories of what these families have gone through, even some of them having their children die by the direct actions of the hospital staff, just makes my heart ache. Labeled is a very well-made documentary. It's got great pacing, it was edited very well to keep the audience's attention, and of course the story really grabs you. Other than some minor audio issues on a couple of the interviews, there's really nothing for me to complain about other than, the fact that this was even necessary to be made. This is a must-see documentary for anyone in the medical industry who wants to go into the medical industry, and for parents or parents-to-be who need to be prepared for what they could encounter. I highly recommend Labeled. It is definitely worth watching. Pick up your own copy at labeledthemovie.com. And that's all the time we have. Thank you for watching Indy Christian Review. Be sure to like the show on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/storyteller. I am the Storyteller. May God bless you, and may God bless independent Christian films.
Oh, great and powerful Mustard, give me the strength to defeat my accursed enemy, the Ketchup Master and his friends. What is this? What? No. No! You! No! That's impossible! No! No! Ah!